Banner patterns provide the opportunity to create some incredibly interesting patterns with banners. The only main problem is in modern day Minecraft, every single design of the banner pattern is exactly the same from one to another. But in the first 1.21.30 preview, we have seen a complete revamp of the banner designs, as we can see right here, with tons of different designs, which is actually easy to actually distinguish one from the other. And this is the first of many things we've seen inside the 1.21.30 preview, with tons and tons of things. One of the biggest previews we've seen for a minor update in such a long time. Such as the fact that now plenty of the loot tables for many different things you find inside the game has been completely changed up. And by completely changed up, I mean the rarity of certain items has been mildly shifted around. And the most obvious way we can see that is by the color of the names of, say, the armor trims we can see right here, because the yellow ones we can see right here are the more uncommon ones we might not see all the time. While some other trims, say like the ward armor trim, are a little bit hard to get, and the silence armor trim, which is actually labeled under the epic loot you can actually find inside the game. And you'll see this throughout the entirety of the game now, with several different types of items being labeled underneath a certain type of color with how rare something might be. Say, Dragon's Breath is under the yellow tab we can see right here, which is a little more uncommon. Say with Echo Shards, a little bit more uncommon. Heavy Core, a bit rarer. Nether Stars, a little more common than the Heavy Core, but still relatively rare. And you can even point this out in the hotbars we can see right here, and yeah, this isn't going to be like a major change for anyone, but it's just one way of actually determining what's a little more common and what's a little bit harder to actually get inside the game. And as we can see, everything else, it's like just incredibly common to get. It's been pretty much untouched. But it is interesting to see, like, say, trial keys or ominous trial keys or something like that being just completely labeled under the same colors, like, say, a dropper or something like that. So I think in general this is a good idea, but I think personally you might want to look back at some of the specific items and just maybe think about relabeling one or two of them. I'm like, why is the Steve head label under here when you just can't get it in legit survival? Unless there is a way and no one knows about it. You never know, you never know. But something we do know about is the fact that trial chambers, despite them already being released inside the game, are still seeing updates and changes to this entire structure. And one of those challenges is a brand new type of hallway called encounters, which are pretty much going to be short challenges you might be able to find like in areas we're at right here. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. But something I'm not wrong about is the fact that those empty chests that was scattered across the entirety of the chamber were like really confusing in my own eyes, and apparently many people's eyes, because they've been completely changed out for hoppers and barrels now, which will pretty much signify that, yeah, these don't have anything in them, but in case you want to put something in there, then you can totally do that. It looks like they might have missed a chest or two around the place, but the idea of just making it a little bit more obvious, the fact that, yeah, this is empty. Don't bother going to it or anything like that. It's helpful. I just think like there's still, again, a couple touch-ups we need to do around the place. Okay, I don't know if this is the challenge they're talking about, but in these rooms right here, we can obviously see this spiral staircase, and everyone might just expect to jump all the way down, like to the bottom, just to get the chest down there, but you might not want to do that anymore now, because if you do that, then you're going to fall all the way down onto some dripstone, which might not be the most comfortable thing in the world, in my opinion. And considering you have to break a block to get out, I mean, come on, Minecraft, come on, you're making us do the hard work now. I don't know, now that we have this even lower area, we might, I don't know, more broken bedrock seeds? Possibly. There's a chance. Almost as big a chance as every single one of these beds being a random color every single time you go inside these chambers. Inside this one on this eve, we're going to find these types of beds. Inside a different chamber, we might find different beds. You're always going to find just a random color of beds inside these whatever you call these rooms, the camp rooms? Whatever they're called. But not only has there been a bunch of changes to trial chambers, there's also been a bunch of additions of parody inside of this Bedrock preview, one of which being the fact that snow golems, if they have a fire resistance potion applied to them inside of a hot biome, now they won't actually be hurt now. You are all covered in fire resistance, you are good to go, but your friend over here, has seen better days. Has definitely seen better days. Almost as good as when mobs actually fall in water, they actually make the same splashing noise as when Java Edition does it. So if we pop a pig in here, I didn't hear anything. If we pop another pig, nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? That might be it. Either that or I'm going crazy. Let's try it again. Still nothing. With every single mod that falls in here, there's nothing. But I guess maybe that sound that when I go in and out of the water is what they were talking about. At least I hope that's a new thing and that's not already inside the game or anything like that. There's also been a fair amount of bug fixes inside this one preview, such as the fact that say you drink an ominous bottle of a single level and you want to reset it for some reason, then just drink another ominous bottle of like a different level and that should reset it up to that one level. Also, one of the weirdest ones, if you were on a boat on ice, for some reason the boats would occasionally disappear, but now that is no longer the case, and what is also no longer the case is for certain players on certain devices, if you were to dismount like a mob or a boat or something like that, then you would occasionally get put inside the ground, but now is this one beta that should no longer be the case. And while it is good that Minecraft is focusing on some of these bigger changes and fixes and parody changes and stuff, it is important to focus on some of the smaller ones too, such as the fact that there was a bug that happened when if you were to read a lectern and for some reason it got pushed by a piston, the entire game would crash. But now as this one preview, when we actually open it up and we actually look inside the content, when the piston actually pushes it, we actually get locked out of the lectern, pushed out of its screen, and yeah, game no longer crashes, which is a good thing. That also trickles down to some of the more parody exclusive things because for some reason the ominous banner has always been named the Illager banner on Bedrock, but now as this run preview, it is now called the ominous banner to also match Java Edition's ominous banner. Or some of these other incredibly small ones, such as the fact that you weren't able to place scaffolding on top of a structure block. Who would ever notice that? Who would ever point that out? No one, honestly. Like, honestly, no one. So, small things like that is such a welcome change. Such a welcome change. Also, considering the fact that all these things are like now colored based on their rarity color will actually change also if say like they get enchanted. Mace I think is already like at the top of its game, so it can't change like that, but say like a diamond sword or something like that, its rarity color will change to be blue instead of white then. Or say something like tridents, which is at the blue tier but will actually go all the way up to the purple tier if enchanted. Or what if you put things on like an anvil? Well, pretty much the same deal. So say like flint and steel, normal white. You put mending on it, then it goes up to blue. Things like that are important to look out for, but it's something you might not even think about until you realize the fact that everything has been changed depending on the tier list. And yeah, that is pretty much the bulk of this entire update. And well, sadly, we still didn't have any bundles in this one preview. The fact that we are getting such an enormous preview for a minor update. This is a minor update. This is not 1.21. This is the biggest preview we've seen since 1.21. The fact that that is a thing does still give me hope that bundles could be coming finally in 1.21.30. We'll have to wait and see. That's only me wish casting right now, but I have a small feeling that that's actually what's going to happen. I'll of course keep you up to date as we learn more about that stuff, but until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.